Tonight there will be 2 elimination rooms back to back. At tonight's elimination rooms, each contestant will vote for whom they want to be eliminated. Since Grace won immunity, she's safe for the first vote and only for the first vote. After the first person leaves, the contestants will not have another chance at immunity, and everyone's name will be on the chopping block. The contestants will be given very little time to formulate in Zoom calls of their choosing to strategize in between both votes. After that, the surviving contestants will meet up in the second elimination room of the night. What do you do to get out of the bottom?
Well, certainly it's not easy. I had to, put out a couple of fishing lines and see if anybody bit. It's not looking good for me, Ben. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not really in the mood to shake things up a whole lot, to be honest. Not much else to say. It's just an easy vote.
Well, like you said before, you kind of talked about the dynamic of the vote 5 versus 2, and we kind of can tell which way that went. So I think that kind of puts me in a different box than other contestants. I've reached out to people, I've talked and made some connections. I'm confident in which way I think it might go.
Considering it was a 5-2 vote, it puts you in the same box as everybody else, as it's now 5, and there's no clear cut divisions or anything. So, I mean, I'm assuming that you all have a plan for once it's the 5 of you.
I mean, I was in different boxes, and you voted one way, I voted another. Your way didn't go the way you wanted. Mine did, or at least everyone else was on the same page. Not that I wanted a certain way, but it's just the way I voted. And then having a plan or not, I mean, maybe I don't have a plan. Maybe I want you to think I don't have a plan, and that's my plan. Maybe it's working, but there's a plan.
What is the dichotomy of this 5 that makes this plan so confident for David?
I think for me, it's just like I haven't spoken to Matt since the vote, so I don't know, it's just like who you're talking to, I guess. There is no real like dichotomy.
We were kind of all expecting Matt to try to reach out to us, and then he didn't. So it's not even really a plan. It's kind of just common sense.
There's 5 of them all together, and then I'm kind of hanging on the outside. And if anybody wanted to make a move, they should have reached out to me, right, to try to swing a majority so that they could, so it would be easier, right? So they say, I haven't reached out to people. People also haven't reached out to me in order to handle that 5 easier. So it would seem to me that there's at least 3 people extremely confident. So I think that at least one person in this group of 5 is not going to see something coming, or they haven't been paying close enough attention, because it's not. If no one has reached out to me, I can only assume that they're doing it within themselves, and somebody hasn't been doing a lot of communicating this week.
I think that there's more of like people that are viewed as threats versus people that aren't viewed as threats, and that is probably like going forward what the votes will be based on, but there really is no way to tell right now.
I kind of don't see it as like threats. I'm really about like the connections that you make with people, so just like if I think someone's being genuine, you know what I mean, I'm gonna obviously trust them.
I mean, it's just hard hearing all 5 people say they're extremely confident, right? Because somebody's not appropriate amount of confidence. Somebody is wrong, because I put my trust in the group we had last week, right? And that bit me and Joe in the ass, did it not?
Like with the games and stuff, I think it's kind of more of like, again, it's like kind of luck. So I don't know if there's necessarily like a threat level.
I think that there's got to be obvious. Like Grace has won 2 challenges in a row. It's only been 2, and there's only 2 more.
I think that I'm not sure what Matt is getting from all this, if not for just trying to piss people off and rile them up by doing this.
I think what's going on here is a very classic Survivor tactic where someone knows that they're in trouble and they're trying to stir stuff up. So, like, yeah, you can point out what you think are problems and flaws, but maybe you just don't know because you're not a part of it.
I just think like the concept of having to win games to make moves is like interesting to me, because like winning the games isn't the entire competition. And if you're like, I don't know, just an odd concept.
I think that the amount of skill it takes to win the game is not necessarily relevant to the fact that you already won the game. So when you're sitting in the final 2 and everybody's looking at who should win, if you won 3 of the 4 games, that's going to sit strongly in your favor.
I mean, that should be obvious to everyone here of there's 2 votes tonight. That means that 2 people are going home. That we might have one easy vote on the table, but that means there's another one afterwards.
If you're surprised by something that happens tonight, then you don't know how to play Survivor, because somebody's gonna be surprised no matter what. That's just what happens.
You can never get comfortable. You really just can't. That's what I've learned. You just can't.
It's kind of late to plead my case. It's also kind of the only thing I can do now is try to sabotage other people for the future. Right? I have to put seeds of doubt. I have to make cracks now, so that when they crack, the people who I don't want to win don't win. I'm just saying nobody can be entirely comfortable, because I'm sure Joe was entirely comfortable 2 days ago, and now he's muted, sitting in the jury. So being comfortable is not exactly the best thing.
Matt, because right off the bat he was very aggressive, pulling a few cards, but they weren't there, and kind of wrote me into his little, once I'm going down, you're going out with me. So, I mean, he can go down. I might go down too, but I'm not going down in his account.
Kathryn, because I threw out my bait, Ben, and we'll see if it comes back to me. That's all I gotta say.
For Matt, because he needs to be out of the game.
I'm voting for Kathryn because I gotta look forward to the rest of my game and really just take care of myself before I take care of the rest of the girls.
I am voting for Kathryn tonight because it makes more sense for me personally to backstab her and blindside her tonight, and I'm very sorry. I'll feel terrible about it for the rest of my life.
I am voting for Kathryn myself. And if this comes back to bite me, I will be bad. So future Kathryn, if it does, you're an idiot.
Okay, by a vote of 4-2, Kathryn, you have been eliminated. You may leave the Zoom call. Really tough. Everyone, how does it sound? Take a 20-minute break and then come back. No one's immune. During these 20 minutes, anyone can talk. Do what you got to do.
I'm really not gonna lie to you. That entire tribal, they had me, and they shouldn't have, because they were too sure. And they were too sure about what they were doing. They were too sure. I should have known. Matt doesn't strike me as somebody, I've been saying this all day. Matt does not strike me as somebody to lay down and die, at all.
I have 4 different Facebook groups open between the eliminations, the double eliminations. I hate this.
I don't want to see David or Matt get to the final.
Oh my, it would make me so angry.
Yeah.
I'm still here to end men.
So are you guys okay with doing Matt first then?
Yeah.
I just don't trust the guy. I just want him out.
Yeah, we only need him for this one,
Yeah, we